What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Kickash Podcast. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday as well. If you celebrate the holidays that are happening, I hope you're having a great time doing so. If you're with your family, I hope you're having a good time. Be safe if you're traveling. It's crazy out there, as we all know. So just be safe, have a good time. If you don't celebrate the holidays that are happening, I hope you're just having a good ass day, you know? Just enjoy whatever you're doing, whatever you're not doing. Yeah, just enjoy that and be safe. We will be getting right into the show here today. I'm still a little behind on watching all of these shows from this week. I've seen bits and pieces, but not enough to properly do a review. So we'll kind of just be touching base on a few topics that have been going on in the wrestling world, kind of like we did last week, and following up on a few things that we talked about last week as well. But like I said, we'll be getting right into the show here. As always, you can follow me and the show on Twitter at kickashpodcast_, and you can follow me on Twitter at ASHMANNS. But with that out of the way, we will be starting with a follow-up from last week on Mandy Rose. We have a little bit more, maybe not a little bit more information, but we have a little bit of an update from her agent. It appears her agent spoke with TMZ. I believe her agent's name is, yes, Malky Kawa. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, so if not, I apologize. But apparently they are a high-profile agent who have managed a few MMA stars in the past, and are also following. Well, I guess technically they do follow, but they are representing Mandy Rose as well. And they stated that the 32-year-old has earned a whopping $500,000 from her fan time page since she got the axe from WWE. In fact, they predict that Rose will be the newest self-made millionaire by Christmas. So, I mean, if that's taking an L, like, please sign me up. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, and good for her. Like, props to her. Like, I ain't mad at that at all. It's just insane to think about, like, in such a short amount of time. Um, and on fan time, like, imagine if she was on, like, OnlyFans or something that's more well known. I guess maybe, maybe they're gaining more publicity out of this, obviously. But, yeah, like, I can only imagine. And maybe she will. Maybe she will since she's officially free. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she would have to wait for her 90 days to be up if she wanted to open up like an OnlyFans. I don't really know if the 90 days would pertain to like a website subscription like that. I know obviously it pertains to going to like an AEW, Impact, things like that. But I don't know if it would include a website. With all these new third party sites and revenue streams opening up, it's really interesting to see kind of the transformation of contracts and what's allowed and what's not allowed, and what may change going forward. But yo, shout out to her. She's getting, oh man, she's getting all the bread right now, and it's just it's great to see. Like, I'm happy she took a look. I don't even want to say she took a shitty situation, because there's some reports out there saying that she have been told multiple times to kind of tone down the content, but we don't know what's true and what's not true. So again, like I've said multiple times, I'm not really here to speculate, but regardless, it still sucks being fired, you know what I mean? Especially if it was abrupt as what it had been reported, or as abrupt, you know what I mean? It appears she wasn't really expecting it at all. So, yeah, I don't know, like, but 500K in what, a week or some shit? Like, that's insane. And projected to be the next self-made millionaire in what, 2 week-ish time span? Like, shout out to her. I dropped my pen, guys. Sorry about that. But it's insane to think about. So, again, shout out to her. I mean, taking a kind of shitty situation, again, like I said, it sucks to be fired, but I mean, if that's what being fired looks like, sign me the fuck up. I mean, I will, man, like that's just wild. 500K. So again, good for her. But a cool little update. I wanted to just touch on that. Again, we don't really know what her intentions are in the future. If she wants to remain in the wrestling world, if she's just gonna stick with doing things like this, which, I mean, shit, if you're making that kind of money, why not? But we will, of course, touch base and provide any other updates, or just kind of follow the story in a way. But again, it's kind of a weird and odd story to talk about. But man, again, shout out to Mandy. There has been a recent update that Sasha Banks has landed in Japan for the upcoming Wrestle Kingdom New Japan show that, of course, will be airing on January 4th. She will be facing the winner of the IWGP Women's Championship match, which most likely will be Kairi Sane, and that they haven't obviously announced it, so it appears to be a surprise that they're trying to maintain it. It sucks, Obviously, I'm probably not doing any more justice talking about it here either. But it's not like I'm the one who sat here and broke it, right? I mean, if I knew that information, I don't know. Like it's a weird thing nowadays, right? Like spoilers and shit like that. And you guys kind of know my feeling on all that, but it's well known and it's out there. And if she has been spotted out there, or if these reports are true, I'm just happy she's out there. I'm just happy she's doing her thing. She's happy. She seems to be having the best time of her life right now. So, just happy for her. And if that's the case, I will definitely be looking forward to the event itself. And I'll be definitely interested to see if you guys check it out too. I know New Japan is a little bit more difficult to watch and obtain. I think obviously you can get it through their subscription site, but I'm not sure if you can get it through, if it's Fight or Bleacher Report. I need to kind of look that up myself before January 4th, since it's damn near right around the corner already, which is crazy to think about. But just a quick update on Sasha Banks, and if that's true, then that's exciting, and it's even more intriguing to see what her future holds for WWE, but it would definitely be cool to see what she ends up doing in New Japan. Speaking of possibly former WWE talent and Sasha Banks, but obviously most definitely former WWE talent and current AEW wrestler Miro has kind of been in the news waves, I guess you could call it, recently, and I'm happy for it, we'll obviously be getting into it here, but I have definitely been talking here on the pod, how I want a Miro update, and it's just kind of strange that we haven't really heard much from him at all, or anything, or not necessarily from him, but just about Miro, whether it's on AEW TV, from him specifically, from Tony Khan, from anyone really. So it was just kind of odd, like I said. So I was one of the ones, one of the many, just clamoring for Miro, right? He was doing great work. His promo segments that he would get obviously were out of this world, and me personally, I love the video packages that we were getting, the whatever you call them, the video segments, video vignettes, whatever the proper wording and terminology for that is. But just those 30, 45-second clips that we would get, him in a random room with one light, just talking about his God and his beautiful wife and shit like that. Like, I miss Miro on AEW TV, and I hope we get him back soon. But apparently there was something pitched for him recently, and this was reported by Dave Meltzer. It looks like, so Dave Meltzer said, quote, and they in AEW in September came to him being Miro. Tony Khan came to Miro, and he had this idea which would build to a match on the November pay-per-view, the November 19th pay-per-view, which was Full Gear, and he didn't want to do it. Some people say it's weird, or some people it's weird. A lot of people that come from WWE are very leery, obviously Bryan Danielson being the exception, about doing jobs, and it becomes very difficult to book when you don't really want to do programs you're going to lose. But anyway, they went through, and now September's over, and now they're in a new cycle, and they're going to bring him back and try to come up with ideas for him, and they very well may. Then his wife, Lana CJ Perry, comes in and says Rusev Day is going to come back, and everybody goes back to WWE. Apparently she did an interview on 97 or 92.7 WMAY, so you can reference that if you want to hear that. But Meltzer goes on to say, and it's like if I'm Tony Khan at this point, given everything that's happened, and the wife of one of the wrestlers says essentially everybody goes back to WWE, it's kind of like, why waste my time pushing this guy? I've got 100 guys on the roster who want to be here, and there's these guys who want to be in the WWE. So Miro did, I believe, follow up with a tweet of his own saying something officially to the effect of, and he tagged Dave Meltzer. He said what happened essentially for the first half of the year, and I do not believe Dave Meltzer had responded to that. So if he does, we will obviously follow up on that, but it's interesting, I guess Miro didn't downright deny what Meltzer was saying, and you guys know I'm not the first one to jump on the Meltzer bandwagon or anything like that. And whether it's true or not, if he has the power to say no and he didn't want to do something, then I mean, that he has, I guess, every right to. But if he, I don't know, like to me, if I don't know, if it's true, then that's it depends on what it was, right? And I'd be very intrigued to know what he was saying no to and what he wasn't really down to do. But if it was nothing really substantial, or if it was kind of throwaway and he was kind of protecting himself, then part of me doesn't blame him. And like I said, if he had the option and the creative freedom really to say no, depending on how his contract is, then I mean, is he the first guy to do that, or first wrestler, period, guy or gal, to do that? No, so that's a tricky situation. But on the flip side with that, if I'm Tony Khan and I go to a talent, I'm like, yo, obviously not yo, but if I go to a talent, like, here's what I have planned out for you for the next X amount of time, here we go. And they're like, no, I don't want to do this, then it kind of gives me a little bit of a defeating feeling as well. If I'm coming to you with something and I spend time putting effort and thought and story into whatever I'm presenting you, and you just say no, then I don't know. I would kind of feel some type of way about that as well. So for me personally, I kind of want to know a little bit more about this particular story to kind of give more of an opinion one way or another. But it's just interesting, And I love that Miro is not afraid and he's not shy to respond to shit. So, and he directly tagged Meltzer, so you guys can look for it on Twitter. And like I said, as of this, I don't believe Meltzer has responded, but at least there's some word and some rumblings about Miro. So whatever this ends up being, I hope it at least gets him back on TV. So we'll see how this ends up playing out, because I feel like this is not the end of this at all. And lastly, guys, with the main topic here is John Cena, of course, will be making his return on the December 30th, 2022 final SmackDown episode of this year, which is insane to think about that it's literally next Friday, which is just fucking crazy. But he will be making his first and last match of 2022, which shout out to him for even wanting to do so and even putting forth the effort to make it a point to be there and to make sure that this record that he has is going strong. I believe it started, in 2002, so going on 20 years. So it's like, shout out to him. He obviously doesn't need to do this. But I myself am wondering if this is going to set up a potential WrestleMania angle for him, or storyline, or maybe even possibly a Royal Rumble. I don't know if he's schedule-wise going to be able to make the Rumble. I think last time I read somewhere that he had some type of scheduling for February and March. Obviously, the Rumble is in January, so possibly his return on SmackDown this coming Friday could set up something, and he can declare for the Royal Rumble. And then he can have a quick Rumble appearance and possibly get eliminated by an Austin Theory. And then that could set up a Royal Rumble match, because Theory can do the bulk of the talking between the months of February and March, where Cena can't be there. And Cena can even kind of do what he did prior, send in a quick video, things like that. So until he can make it back. So we can definitely keep an eye on that. But the card and the lineup for this coming Friday night SmackDown is pretty good. And there's obviously the main thing everyone is looking forward to is in the way to properly end the year on a high note is the return of Lacey Evans. I know everyone's been clamoring for that. I know we've been just on the edge of our seats waiting for her return, and the video packages that we've been getting have been top notch. So it's finally here, guys. We've finally made it. So she will be making her return. We will get a one-on-one match between Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa. We will get Ronda Rousey facing off against Raquel Rodriguez for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And then, of course, the main event and being John Cena and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. And we will obviously be getting a continuation for the Bloodline, which would be fascinating to see. But guys, thank you so much for listening and downloading, streaming the show wherever you are doing so. We will be back very soon with a follow-up show and a little bit longer of a show to kind of get into a little more things in depth and to end the year out strong. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys continue to have a fantastic holiday and stay safe out there.